Hardware wise, I've got the Alesis VI49, shout out Will Young. I've got this Looptimus right here, which basically I mostly use for going through presets that are linked to my Slate plugin. And this little Digitech pedal is pretty much the powerhouse of all my tone, and essentially this is like my tone pedal, and this would be more like what I use to do effects. So I can show you here on my whenever it opens. There we go. So you can see my little pedals on here, which I can use. This is just kind of one of my basic tones. I can throw some delay on there. A little octaver, some chorus. So that's what I primarily use that for, is this little Slate guy. And then the bread and butter for some of our upcoming tech jams is this, which we've been focusing on the album, so I currently only have about 9 different presets, but each of these columns is basically its own little preset. I've even got my little drum pad. So basically what we can do now, this is just a little techno loop that Dixon made for us. So what I can do now is I use these to record. So yeah, that's ways we can make really cool loops and jams. I can even like pick my guitar up after looping all that stuff and make even more cool, crazy, weird sounds, which is what we love doing. So yeah, that's my rig rundown. Thanks for checking it out.
Okay, so Ryan sends me all that and goes into my mixer right here. So I'll have Ryan in 5.6, my Ableton in 7.8, and Ryan's using Ableton too. We link up. He's not here while I'm filming this video right at this second, but I would hit that link button, and what that enables is that his tempo and my tempo are in sync, so any effects he uses will be in sync with me. Okay, so then the next step, I'll go through all of my hardware first, and then I'll sort of do like a rundown of what each thing here does. Okay, so I have my bass here, and that runs through a Digitech pedal and a Looptimus. The Looptimus has presets on it. On Ableton, you can see it. I got an EQ going, I got an auto filter, and I got a compressor. That compressor actually has a sidechain going to a Ghost during our 4 on the Floor songs. So I'm able to sidechain stuff live. As you can hear, that's full compression. That's no compression. I'm controlling all that over here with my APC 40, the same thing that I pretty much use to control everything. This deck is our backing tracks, so click one, I get a click. Click another one, get another click. You get the idea. And then I'm going into channel. So we have the backing tracks on deck A and B, which is 1 and 2, and then this next channel is just some loops that I have pre-programmed to go along with stuff. So like, it's just like a pad loop. Then I'm able to, there's a couple more channels for some synths, and then I have a bass channel, and that's where I'm going through, so I'm able to live loop my bass. So like, let's say we have a jam going in G. And then if we want, we can slowly start building other layers on top of that. I can add a pad. So yeah, over here on the APC 40 itself, I have all these macros that control stuff. Lows, mids, highs, a limiter. Blew a few club speakers out before I realized we needed that. A delay on the master. A filter. And then the most important of all, the master tempo. We can speed up, we can slow down, and like I said previously, Ryan has the same tempo as me, so we're always able to lock in. Deck A filter, Deck B filter, for if we had a track going in that. I have synths on this channel, synths on this channel, synths on this channel. We'll go through all of that in just a second here, and then my bass in this channel. That pretty much covers it for the APC 40. One more thing, I have my headphones on, and if you can probably hear it. It's literally just a click the entire time, which is locked in with that tempo, which is locked in with that ghost kick, which is what my bass is connected to. Tommy's got the same tempo in his ears. Ryan, like I said, his Ableton is locked in. It's all master to my tempo right here being the master. Okay, last piece of equipment on my Ableton setup is this boy, this little keyboard here. And I have 3 different ways that I like to use this thing. So first, there's just straight up synthesizer. So I go over here and I arm this, and I have different synth sounds that I have presets to pre-programmed in here. I don't think my pads are working to change my presets, but I can go in here and change my presets. So I'll have like a lead for like an ambient type thing. And then like maybe like a pad, or like a gated sequencer for like. And again, just like with everything else, I'm able to loop it. Yeah, none of that was very good, but it's just an example of like all the different tools that we have. And another thing that I like to use this synth for is super cool trick. You route a synth through a vocoder. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a second here on the computer, but this synth is able to play sort of like mods and like mod loop type stuff. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. But yeah, that's pretty much my rig rundown for like all my outside equipment. We're gonna dive into Ableton here in a minute, and I'll show you my full live setup with the context in mind of like how we use everything, and we'll go from there. Thanks. At this point, it's probably a good idea to explain how Tommy connects with our set and with all this, because I've mentioned multiple times that we'll send him like a click or the backing track or whatever. So we've done a few different things with Tommy. On drums, he's played a full live acoustic kit before. He's played an E-kit before. What we've been doing a lot lately is having him play the E-kit, and we'll take certain parts of a song and take like the clap out. Like there's a clap or a snare or something that's unique to a track. We'll take that out and have Tommy play that through his E-kit, so because he can play samples through that. We like to send him a click track and a backing track. The click is locked in with my Ableton and Ryan's, so he's always able to stay on point. It's also worth noting that Tommy will be on every track of our upcoming album. We recorded his drums, so there'll be parts that we use his drums on the recording, and obviously we'll take that part out for him to play live. Pretty cool. Excited about that. Editing drums is fun. Hard. Diving into Ableton, the first channel is Deck A for backing tracks with different clips for different sections of tracks. The next channel is Deck B. Same situation, different clips, different sections of tracks that we're able to sequence in. Very similar to the way that a DJ deck is set up in terms of Deck A, Deck B, only the tracks are split up into sections so we can loop certain parts live and extend songs and almost do live edits of our songs. The next one I have is I have these channels called Loops Mod, Loops Reg, Synth Mod, Synth Reg. I'm not actually playing a modular synth live, I wish, but these sounds that I make just kind of remind me of modular synths, and there are other elements that we can loop on top of our jams and our backing tracks and whatnot. First one I want to show you is this really cool trick for getting a modular sound with just some basic stock Ableton plugins or synths. So what you do is, and I already have all this stuff pre-routed, but you make a channel, you add a pad to it,
So I'm just using a basic Serum pad. If you don't have Serum, there's plenty of pads inside of Ableton. And I'm playing it with the MPK that we talked about earlier. And so what you do is you open up another channel, and again, I already have all this stuff pre-made, and you add a vocoder to that channel, right? So this is the channel that's called Loops Mod. These are going to be percussion loops. So if you have any percussion loops, you can, if you don't, hit me up. I'm happy to give you some free samples. But you take a loop that just kind of sounds like, if I can get the loop to play. Not wanting to play in my browser. Just a regular old percussion loop like that. Right? But what you do is you put it in its own channel, and on that channel you add a vocoder. And here, under carrier, you do external audio from, and it's going to be that synth mod channel where we put the Serum pad. So that you turn the Serum pad all the way down, but you arm it. As you can hear, that's playing nothing. But then when I play a G note, you can hear that it sounds way different than just a percussion loop. I have this EQ automated to one of my knobs on my MPK that you see there to add dynamics, add tension and release, bring the synth in and out. The next channel is the loops reg, as I call it, regular loops. These are just pre-made loops that I can add on top of stuff like we did earlier. And I can sequence back in that bass line we looped. So yeah, that's loops mod, loops reg, and then the synth mod is what triggers the loops mod. And then I have one more setting here. This is just my synth, my MPK with pads, sequencers. We can change the setting to, we use this in one of our ambient jams. And I'm able to also loop some of that stuff live. I'll kind of show you guys all how that works together in one. We'll have the backing track, add some loops, etc. So we're going to add the jam, the rapid backing track, add in a pad. In that bass line. Sounds nice, that live side chain to the Ghost. Last loop of synth. Now we have the freedom, I have the freedom, Ryan is able to jam on top of this while I can use the APC 40 to get us to the next track. We're jamming in G Locrian right now, which is a mode that's in G minor, so we're going to go into a new track, as you can see, that's in G minor underneath it. See how that sounds. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There's so much stuff that we can do in this set. We only really scratched the surface, and we're learning every time we practice about different ways we can use these loops and make dope shit for y'all. And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace.